Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Tovia. I'm going to show you how to make quick and easy hamburger stew my way. You'll find all the ingredients throughout the video as well as in the description box. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. So I'm using my cast iron Dutch oven here. So I have 1 1/4 pounds of ground beef. I'm just going to begin by breaking this up. I'm working on medium-high heat, and I'm using 80% lean ground beef, but you can use whatever kind of meat you want to use for this. If you don't like ground beef, you can use ground turkey, ground chicken, or even ground pork. So I am just breaking up my ground beef here, and to the ground beef I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 1.5 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2.5 tablespoons of dried minced onion, as well as 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of coarsely ground black pepper. So I'm just going to continue to cook this until the meat is completely browned. And once the meat is completely browned, I'm just going to drain it of all the fat and we're going to set it aside. Okay, now that my ground beef has browned completely, I'm just going to remove the ground beef from my pan here. So this is what I'm using here. It's a bowl and a sieve, and I just use my spoon to press all of the fat out of the ground beef. So I return my Dutch oven back to the heat, and I'm going to add in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And to that olive oil, I'm going to add 1 bell pepper that I chopped, as well as 1 large onion. And I'm just going to cook everything for about 3 to 4 minutes, just until the onions begin to brown a bit. So the onions are now beginning to brown. I have 1 carrot that I've peeled and sliced, and I'm just going to add that. And I'm just going to cook this for a minute. And I'm lowered the heat down to medium. So to the pan, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. I'm going to give that a quick stir. Cook that for about 30 seconds. You don't want the garlic to get really brown because you don't want it to get bitter. So to this, I'm going to add 3 cups of water. And after adding 3 cups of water, I'm going to turn the heat up to high because I want to encourage everything to boil. So after adding the water, we're going to add 10 ounces of tomatoes. This is diced tomatoes and green chili, or Rotel. You can find that in the stores here. I'm also going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of chicken bullion powder. I'm going to give everything a stir. I'm going to have 1 large russet potato that I just cut and I had soaked in water. I'm going to drain the water. I'm going to add the potatoes. And I hate sweet peas. So I'm going to add corn. So I have summer crisp corn. So I just love the... So this is 11 ounces of corn. You can use frozen corn if you don't want to use canned corn. Then I'm going to add the ground beef back to everything. Give this a stir. So once this comes to a boil, we'll be back. And one more ingredient that I left out, and that is freshly chopped parsley. And that's about a 1/4 cup. And I'm using Italian parsley. Give everything a stir. Everything is coming to a boil. I'm gonna give this a stir. Gonna cover, lower the heat to medium, and I'm gonna let this go for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I will stir this about every 15 minutes, checking to make sure there's still enough broth. So my hamburger stew is done. It smells wonderful. Just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you see it's not oily, and that's because we pressed our ground beef in a sieve. But I let everything go for about 35 minutes, just until the potatoes are tender. And after about 35 minutes, I turn the heat down lower and let it go for about another 15 minutes. And then I just allow it to stand off with the heat turned off. So I'm going to plate some of this up and we'll be back. So here's a hamburger stew. I served it with a nice onion roll. So let's give this a taste. Please leave a comment. Please support me by hitting that thumbs up, adding this video to your playlist, and sharing it. It really helps me out a lot. So give this a taste. I just love how all those peppers and onions and just how all the veggies look along with everything. It looks amazing. Absolutely delicious. Just love all the flavors from the garlic. Very intense. This is so delicious and hearty and perfect as it's starting to get really cold now. Please give this recipe a try. It's cheap, affordable, and absolutely delicious and hearty. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. And please remember to live and be well. And let's just continue to pray. Let's do what we can to encourage people to be positive and to just love each other. Thank you so much.